My name is Taylor Beacham, and I'm a lesbian. Relationships with guys in the past had always been a little forced on my end, and I thought that that's kind of what I was there to do, be there for somebody else instead of having someone else be there for me too. I don't regret those relationships at all, but that just wasn't where I felt most comfortable, and I didn't know that until I experienced my relationship and love with my girlfriend. It kind of happened by chance. The second that I started to let myself explore those thoughts and feelings, and I started coming out to friends one-on-one, I ended up telling this girl about it, and she was really accepting, loving, and open about that, and we were just really good friends at the time. From that point on, we got really close. Just kind of happened from there. It was comfortable, it was welcoming, and it was so much more relaxing than what I had been in before. Our relationship just kind of went from there, but it was so much like happier and something I didn't feel like I was forcing or like I had to do anything. It was we could both be there for each other. So much happier in my heart and like loving than I thought was possible. I think the hardest thing was with my grandma and coming out to my family. Most of them were really supportive and took a minute to get used to it, and that was hard. The fact that they had to get used to something is where like I felt I had to prove something or it wasn't worthy or make an excuse or over-explain myself. With my grandma, the way I told her was in a letter, because that's the way we kind of talked to each other a lot. That was how we communicated. She's very religious, and when she called me after she got the letter, the first thing she said was, "You know I love you no matter what, but I do want to talk about this." And she sat me down and we had a very biblical discussion. I'm religious, I still identify as a Christian also. For her to kind of say that I wasn't doing the right thing in that sense, even though I feel like I am, was very hurtful. At the beginning, it was hard for us to talk in general. We were barely talking, and over time, I reached out to her more and she started reaching out to me more often, and we were able to talk about things and really progress in our relationship again and get back to where our relationship was at, regardless of anything else, which was really awesome to have her support again. On January 21st, the Women's March, literally across the world, people were supporting everybody, not even just minorities, not just women, not just LGBTQ, like everybody was standing together, and it was one of the biggest protests in recorded history and also the most peaceful protest that I think our generation has ever witnessed. And for that to be that many people all standing together, it's that despite everything else that's going on in the world right now, there's millions of people out there that have your back, have my back, have all of our backs, that we're all there to support each other. They're showing how much they do care and how much love there is in the world. Despite literally everything else that's going on, there is still love no matter what. Don't be afraid to explore those thoughts, to not be so defensive about the word gay or lesbian or queer. Don't be offended or scared to explore those thoughts, or even just like masculinity and femininity. I think there's a huge difference between gender and masculinity and femininity in your personality. I know I possess a lot of masculine traits, but I'm still a female, I'm still a girl, and I do get offended sometimes when people look at my relationship and say, "Oh, well, who's the guy?" Well, nobody, that's the point. Growing up, a lot of people questioned or pointed fingers and said that I was gay growing up because I played softball and I was a tomboy, and the difference between traits and gender identity, I think, are very different, and it's a more of a fluid scale. Everybody possesses a little bit of everything, and there's a balance. Accepting who you are in its entirety and loving that person is the only way you're going to be able to get through and know that there's all these people out there going through a lot of other things too, and we can all be there for each other and love each other. Parents of kids who are coming out or going through things that might represent something different than the social construct of being a straight teenager or something like that, what's normal. Know that your child needs love. All of us do. My dad specifically had said, "I raised you independently to think you don't need a man to depend on or anything like that. Did I go too far with that?" And it was like, no, and the fact that he would say that kind of makes me feel that what I'm doing is wrong. And I don't think it is, because in the end, we're all people. A girl and a girl together, a guy and a guy, or a girl and a guy, it doesn't matter, because a person is a person, and we all go through different things to get where we are in life, and we're all at different points, and love is love is love is love is love. That's really what matters. People in general, your child, your friend, your neighbor, your family, anybody needs to know that you're there to love them no matter what or who they are.